Here we go. I think so.
What should we do? Are we gonna dig her out?
No, I don't think we'll have to do anything like that. See the keyhole on the grave? If I just insert this here, I pulled the key off my ankle and fitted it into the hole. Twisted it to the right until I heard something unlock. With a quiet grinding, the grave began to shift. Oh shit.
What is this?
Oh.
It doesn't look like a coffin.
Yeah, it's a treatment pod.
Oh my god.
That is certainly...
It is, isn't it?
That is not what I expected to happen, but the glass of the cover had frosted over, making it opaque. We couldn't see who or what was in it.
Let's see what's inside.
Nod. Number 0, rather. She grabbed hold of the lever on the side of the pod.
No good. I think it's locked.
What?
Treatment pod TP00. Stage 1 defrosting complete. Stage 2 will be complete in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Once stage 2 is complete, the lock will automatically disengage.
That must be an important treatment pod. Right, cold sleep.
What?
These pods can put people into cold sleep. Uses something called CAS to freeze the human bodies without destroying their cells.
So, Mizakane's like an ice cube?
I think so.
Then we gotta wait till she melts?
Yeah, pretty much.
So how about you tell us your story while we wait, Kay? Specifically, why do you know Akane?
I remembered.
What do you remember?
Was she the old woman who came
Everything.
to... I mean, we know that the old woman, in a different route, Kay remembered as his mother figure, the old woman who came to be a mother figure to young Kay. And obviously the old woman's Akane, so...
I was born and raised in this facility. It's called Rhizome 9. A rhizome is an underground plant stem that spreads by sending out roots.
Rhizome 9,
Kind of makes
roots,
sense, doesn't it?
spreading out timeline
This
roots.
facility is a little like a rhizome. Supposedly, that's why they call these installations that. The number comes from the facility's number. There are 54 rhizomes on the moon, and this is the 9th one.
Oh, wow.
Well, I suppose the other ones don't really matter to you, do they? In any event, I grew up here with Akane and Zero Senior. I watched them create the AB project.
The AB project?
Yes. Its purpose is to send Phi and Sigma, or their consciousnesses at least, to the past.
Back 45 years, right?
Yes.
So, you want us to change history, huh? Go back and keep Radical 6 from getting out, and stop the reactors from exploding. That's our mission?
Well, not exactly.
Not exactly. What do you mean?
It's true that the ultimate goal of the project is to keep Radical 6 from spreading to the general population. But even if you do make it back, you won't be able to do much. By now, it's already too late.
Too late?
What? What do you mean?
Let me begin at the beginning.
That's usually a good spot to begin.
You might be thinking that Zero Senior and Akane were the ones who created all this, but that's not entirely correct. They only followed the histories they'd already seen. It was the only choice they had. Nothing less than the future of mankind is at stake. We need the two of you to jump through timelines while maintaining your memories. That is why you had to play the AB game, and why the chromatic doors were necessary. By forcing multiple options, you could make numerous jumps. We speculated that jumping more would strengthen your memories. The puzzles were also there for a purpose. Some theories hold that a moment of insight when you solve a puzzle strengthens your connection to the fourth dimension. That was the reason for the puzzles.
Okay.
Your infection with Radical 6 was also a vital part of our plan. By slowing down your brain's processing speed, we can store your potential.
This is a nice refresher for everything Akane told us last video. So...
With that energy stored up, we just had to provide a life or death situation to launch your consciousness into the fourth dimension.
If I had played everything from last video into this one through consecutively, I might be mad at Kay for telling us what we already know, but this is a nice refresher, coming back to this after a week.
Like a bullet from a slingshot.
It literally is exactly what Akane told us, but it's a nice refresher.
Wait, hold on just a minute here. You keep talking about Sigma and Phi, but what about the rest of us? Why did you bring us here?
That's a good question.
That's simple. In earlier histories, you were all here in Rhizome 9. We needed you here to accurately replicate those histories.
Earlier histories?
Although I suppose that's probably not a good enough explanation for you. In a sense, though, it is the truth. Our primary goal was to replicate history. The rest is... Yes, I suppose I should explain.
Please.
Very well. I will try and do so in a way you can understand. First, Alice and Clover. They were abducted 45 years and 1 month ago, on December 22nd, 2028. The location is Earth, of course. More specifically, Los Angeles, California. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
After being kidnapped, your bodies were sent to a facility under Akane's direction. You were placed in treatment pods and immediately put into cold sleep. 4 months later, you arrived at this facility.
4 months?
The date you finally arrived was April 14th, 2029.
Wow.
Your trip from Earth to this facility was aboard a spaceship powered by an annihilation engine. Following your arrival, your pods were placed in long-term storage. Does that make sense?
Are you telling me we were sleeping in those pods here for 45 years?
Yes. In preparation for this day.
But why? What do you need us for?
You are an Esper, aren't you, Clover? I mean that you are able to access the fourth dimension. Am I wrong?
Did Akane tell you?
In a manner of speaking. As I've already explained, the purpose of this project is to send Sigma and Phi's consciousnesses to the past.
Is it certain that young K, Lil K, has probably asked questions in the past?
Espers are able to sort of resonate with one another, which can amplify their power. You understand? This is why we brought you here, Clover.
You're gonna amplify our powers.
We needed your help, Alice, to deactivate Dio's bombs.
Huh?
But I didn't do anything.
I was gonna say something, but...
But you did. In another history. You were able to perform prime decomposition on the 25-digit integer that Dio left behind. Only you could do that sort of thing.
Oh. Which was the number that made us decode his message. And which, in a sense, led to us discovering that he was the one who planted the bombs.
Because of your feat of mathematics, we were about to determine that Dio had planted the bombs. Then we were able to question him and get the password for the number 31. Finally, we used that information to stop the bomb in this timeline. Without your help, Alice, we would have been reduced to nothing more than so much space dust. This history exists because of your presence.
That's true. I can't deny it.
Now, let me explain why we needed Tenmyoji and Quark. Tenmyoji is simple. We needed you for the same reason we needed Clover. You are able to access the fourth dimension. Almost half a century ago, you used that ability to save a young girl, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
We needed you to resonate with Sigma and Phi, so we brought you here. All it took was a messenger.
Do you want to see Akane? If you do, come with me. I was a fool and fell for it.
And you brought Quark with you. In fact, you insisted that he come.
Yeah, I know. Guess you were worried about leaving me alone, huh? He kept saying he couldn't run off to the moon and leave me behind.
I'm sorry, Quark. If I hadn't been so stupid and selfish, none of this would have happened to you. I never thought this would happen. Can you ever forgive me?
Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, I agreed to come with you. I thought the moon would be way more interesting than boring old Earth. What kid would turn that down?
We didn't see the messenger after we got on the ship. It was on autopilot. As soon as we got in, and headed straight for the moon. During the trip, Zero told me to keep quiet once we got there. I don't remember anything after we landed.
Then there was a bunch of that white smoke, and we passed out. And when I woke up, I was in the AB room.
So you were chronologically the last
Dio.
ones taken. Now Dio.
His real name is Left, and he's the leader of a terrorist organization called the Myrmidons. He was ordered to come here. The Myrmidons are under the control of an organization called Free the Soul, which is in turn controlled by a man known as Brother.
Brother.
It was Brother who orchestrated the release of
Brother.
Radical 6 into the general population 45 years ago. Do you remember what Phi mentioned earlier? The ultimate purpose of the AB project is to change history and keep Radical 6 from being released. If we succeed, that would be bad for Brother and his organization. Our success would prevent them from creating the ideal world they're working toward. That is why Brother sent Left, his trusted lieutenant, to this facility. They needed to stop the AB project. So, Dio was given 2 tasks. The first was to eliminate Akane, the architect of the AB project. The second was to join the AB game and win it. If Dio won the game, the AB project would not be completed, at least not in that timeline. In other words, in that world, the project would have been stopped. If things didn't go as planned, Dio was given a contingency plan.
Bombs.
If you cannot murder Akane and win the game, destroy Rhizome 9. Hence, the bombs.
Hence the bombs.
Can I ask you something?
Perhaps.
How did Brother know about the AB project?
Did we leak it to
He
him?
was also an Esper.
Ah. That's
We
kind
can
of scary,
set Brother aside for now, though. May I proceed?
I suppose. No one objected. We were all curious.
Excellent. That explains everyone, save 2. Luna and myself.
Indeed.
Sigma and Phi already know the truth about Luna. I don't believe I should reveal any more, however. I think it would be more appropriate if you could ask Luna yourselves, at a later time. Would that be all right with you, Luna?
Yes, that's okay.
As for me,
How far can Luna actually go outside of the Rhizome 9? Also, I just want to bring back, while we're here, there it is. This seems like a real funky map. Nevada test site. Rhizome 9. Whoop, 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 whoop.
as I said before,
That's the connection
I
of
was
the
born
AB
and raised
project.
here. The rest of you were brought to this facility, but I've never left. That makes me someone close to Zero Senior and Akane.
Hey, I've been wondering, who is Zero Senior?
You've already met him, Sigma. In another timeline.
Technically, yeah. Well, I saw a hologram. I still don't know who he is.
Stage 2 is complete. TP-00 unlocking.
It looks like it's finished. Shall we open the pod?
Yeah, let's do it. Who's in the pod? All of us gathered around the pod. The glass was still covered with frost, hiding the contents.
Okay. Let's get started then. Ready?
Fi laid her hand on the lever and looked around at us. I swallowed. Yeah, anytime.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Akane? Nope, not Akane. Well, what? Suddenly my head was full of memories from other timelines. I'd seen something like this before. The warehouse of floor B, in front of the white door. Kay was lying in front of me. I grabbed his mask and saw my own face. I never figured out who he really was. Why was there a man with my face underneath Kay's armor? It didn't make sense. After I'd seen him, I was injected with tubercularine, and that was the end of that. But wait. The person in the pod was the same person I'd seen on the floor of the warehouse. Who was wearing Kay's armor?
You finally noticed. Didn't I tell you? You won't be alone. I will be at your side, watching over you.
Nah, no. Oh my god, you're...
Yes, I am.
Oh,
Akane Kurashiki.
in the flesh.
It's you. June. I mean, Akane from... But you're old.
Yes.
That's correct.
So is Junpei.
I haven't spoken to you in a very long time, Clover. Or you, Junpei.
Junpei?
Akane. Long time no see.
I could barely hear what they were saying. My mind was still reeling. It felt like all the air had been knocked out of me. And it was all I could do to not collapse right then and there.
When? How long?
Do you remember when the two of you saved me in the warehouse?
Dropkick!
Once you
Rip.
saved me, you went back to your future. Well, your minds did at least. I carried your bodies to the 3rd AB room and then took Dio's to the 5th. After that, I went into the 1st room and borrowed Kay's armor.
So by the time you and Clover came out, you'd already...
Yes.
Wait. This doesn't make any sense. Dio killed you. Then Luna took your body to the 6th room. Couldn't have been in Kay's armor.
No, it was me. In this timeline, at least. In this one, I wasn't murdered by Dio. You two saved me. It's just like Schrodinger's cat. Your actions in the future decided who would be inside the armor in the past.
What? No, that's nuts. Sigma.
Alright, what about the other history? The one where you weren't saved. What happens then? Who's wearing the armor?
That's quite simple. The man in front of you.
Him?
That's correct. Whenever I'm not in the armor, he is.
What about
Well.
the memory loss?
For my part, I confess that I lied.
Yeah,
He, on the
Fair
other
enough.
hand, was telling the truth. Large doses of soporil can cause memory loss. I gave him a rather large dose.
oops.
So, who is he?
You've never seen him before?
No.
What about the rest of you?
I have no idea who he is.
I've never seen him before.
Me either.
I'm right in front of you.
Total stranger.
I'm right in front of you. Hey, come on. What are you guys saying? Right here? Same face? Eh?
Huh? Huh?
Are you alright, Mr. Sigma?
No, I'm not.
Did you hit your head or something?
I may have. Huh? What? Didn't make any sense. Why didn't they recognize me?
Sigma, your consciousness can jump through time. You can inhabit your body in the past or in the future.
But what does that mean?
Don't you get it? You've jumped to the future. From 45 years ago.
Looked around frantically. Where's a mirror? A pond! Ran into it and threw myself down on my knees. Crawling on all fours, I approached the edge. My heart was hammering inside my chest. A cold sweat trickled down my spine. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down, damn it. I struggled to take deep breaths. Then slowly, I peered into the pond, looking for my reflection. Ah! What? What? No, this can't be real. This face.
It's your face, Dr. Sigma Climb. Although, to the you that's behind it now, it's your face 45 years from now. Zero, the mastermind of the AB project,
It was us all along.
is you.
Shit. What? No, that's not possible. That's bullshit.
No, it's the truth. Fighting it isn't going to do you any good. Please, Doctor.
I'm not a doctor.
You will be a pioneer in the field of genetic engineering.
You're lying.
No, I'm not. You created him. Well, I suppose I should say you are going to create him.
Right. Create?
His name is Kyle Climb.
Kyle.
Your
Hence
clone.
K. Ah,
That is why he looks just like a younger version of yourself. 23 years ago, in the biolab here in Rhizome 9, you created Kyle. Well, I suppose for you, that's still in the future.
right. Again.
When I said I was born and raised here, I was still pretending to be him. The gravity here is only 1/6 of Earth's. If nothing was done, the reduced gravity would cause his bones to be weaker than normal human ones.
Oh.
But you prepared for that. You gave him that armor. Ever since he was born, he's lived inside of it.
That. So, literally, the shots of Little Cave, the backstory, are legitimately young Kyle in armor. That's
He
amazing.
kept his muscles and bones strong.
That's
He
amazing.
wasn't forced into it for the nonary game. He's been wearing it every day, all his life.
That's gotta be a rough life, but why would future me create a clone?
He was to be your spare.
Ugh.
If something
dark.
happened to you before the project began, he would take your place.
That is kind of dark. Knowing that Kyle saw himself as...
I mentioned before that the
His son.
AB projects A and B stood for after and before. That isn't all they mean, though. The A also means anima, and the B means body. Anima is another
Mind.
word for the soul, or the
soul,
consciousness.
Yeah.
Body is, well, exactly what it says on the tin.
Body.
Past consciousness, will go into the future body, and the future consciousness will go into the past body. They switch. That was the chief goal of the project.
Wait, so the future person goes into the past person?
Sigma, do you remember the note you found in the garden?
You mean this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Ah, of course, it was you who investigated the garden in this timeline.
Yeah.
Sigma, take a good look at this. It's an illustration of the time jumps your consciousness is making.
Started at the Nevada test site, made it to Rhizome 9.
A is where everything began. December 25th, 2028. You inhaled the white smoke in your car and lost consciousness. From there, you jumped to B.
Rhizome 9.
January 25th, 2074. You woke up in one of the AB rooms in Rhizome 9. You are in your own body, but it is 67 years old.
Everyone always called us old man and crone.
Your
Oh, shit.
consciousness has jumped 45 years into the future.
Weren't really many reflective surfaces we could gaze into readily. No extensive ponds and no mirrors. Shiny mirrors.
I believe that may explain why you didn't notice the reduced lunar gravity. The body you woke up in was much older. Normally, you would have noticed that your muscles were much weaker. In this case, however, the lower gravity balanced that out. Moving on.
Just,
If you continue along this line, what happens next?
then we have the, that would explain why, Dr. Klim had cybernetic arms. So you can look down at his arms and they look like college-age Sigma arms. So that, I mean, if Sigma woke up, looked down at his arms and saw shriveled up old man arms, he'd be a bit more suspicious about his current state of being.
You reach C, which is January 27th, 2074. That is today.
Oh,
Whoa.
we've been here for 2
Wait,
days.
what do you mean?
We've been playing the
Are
AB
you
game
saying
for
it's
2
been
days.
2 days since we woke up?
36 hours to be exact. Have you already forgotten? You were all infected with Radical 6.
Oh,
The virus slowed your brain down. So yes, 36 hours of real time have passed. But to you, it only seemed like 14 hours and 40 minutes.
wow.
Now comes the important part. After this, your consciousness will return to the past. It will re-emerge at point D,
Before we woke up.
April 13th,
Whoa.
2029. You will return to your younger body.
But that's the same day as the reactor explosions.
Yes. That is why I said it will be too late. You will return to the past, but the events you would want to prevent will have already happened.
Okay.
The story does not end there, however.
Is there some kind of time paradox? Not time paradox, time loop consistency things where you have to go to the day the reactors explode to set the events of the AB project in
The
motion.
line continues. After reaching point D, you will eventually return to B.
Okay.
But this time, you won't be jumping through time, or at least not at a rate faster than normal. Your consciousness will spend 45 years inhabiting the same body
Shit.
until you reach point B. Do you remember when B is Sigma?
January 25th, 2074, where young me wakes up in old me's body. According to what you just told us, it's 36 hours ago.
Correct. That was when the consciousness of the 22-year-old Sigma jumped into the body of 67-year-old Sigma. So where did the older version of you go when you took his body?
Point A. December 25th, 2028, the day all of this started.
Yes. His consciousness will go back in time 45 years. For a period of time, he will inhabit your younger body. While your younger consciousness is elsewhere, he will be you in the past.
But once that body reaches point D, my 22-year-old consciousness will come back from point C.
That's correct. When that happens, the older version of you will be ejected from your younger body and return to your body at C.
So it's rotating.
Rotating. I suppose you could put it that way. But look at this illustration closely. What if you take all these lines and untangle them? You get one single line. It may look complicated, but in truth, it's a single straight path, with one exception.
Point E. This line here at point E, right?
Exactly. Point E is December 31st, 2028, the day of the total eclipse.
The day the Nevada test site went to shit. The day Radical 6 got out of the test facility.
Yes. By now, you've likely figured it out on your own. The purpose of the AB project was to get the consciousness of the 67-year-old Sigma from point B to point A. If we can do that, we can change what happened 45 years ago.
The old version of me will keep Radical 6 from getting out. Jumping into my 22-year-old body on New Year's Eve 2028.
Yes, that is why this line could not be interrupted. In order for the 67-year-old version of you to reach point B, we first have to go through point D. In order to get to point D, we must jump from point C. And for point C to happen, we had to recreate everything that happened in this facility. That is why we have faithfully retraced history up to this point, so that we might save humankind from destruction and undo the horrors of the last 45 years.
Shit. Shit. Tell me one thing.
What is that?
You said that point C is January 27th, 2074, which is today. There's gonna be a jump, and I'll jump to April 13th, 2029.
Yes, that's right.
What happens on that day? But look, I'm still old. When is this jump supposed to happen?
Very soon.
Soon?
Yes.
And what's going to trigger it?
We need potential energy stored to send your consciousness into the fourth dimension.
This doesn't sound promising.
Fortunately, we now have plenty of that, Thanks, ironically, to Radical 6. All that remains is to launch your consciousness, like a bullet from a slingshot.
How do you propose to do that?
Didn't I tell you? A crisis. A moment balanced between life and death.
I thought we cleared all the crises.
Jumpstart your brain.
Thought we cleared all the crises. Akane, I don't like this. What do you mean?
You haven't figured it out.
No.
I mean this.
What? What? Dio's knife. She did say she was going to hold on to it. No sooner were the words out of my mouth. What? Fi! I screamed and leapt toward them. Holy shit! Kane was already in motion, the knife diving toward Fi's chest. It was almost there. When I regained consciousness, I was on the floor. There was a dull pain in my chest. Oh shit! I felt for a cut, but something was in the way. It's a giant knife. It took me a moment to realize that it was Akane's body, lying on top of me. Shit. Hopefully the knife was not, twisted my neck to look around. Nearby was an old tombstone. On it was written a few words in Latin. Tu fui, ego eris. What you are, I was. What I am, you will be. God, the quote that summarizes the entire progression of the plot. Of the overall plot. Of the big stinger. Well, shit. Is this the jump start we needed? Is this the jump start we needed all of this time? God, it's... "22-year-old Akane? We haven't seen 22-year-old Akane yet, have we? I just caught sight of that in the voice credits. Oh, man, that was a lot dropped on us. Shh. That was a lot. And yet, really succinctly wrapped up everything left to handle here. It's just a shocking event at the start. Akane letting herself be killed by Dio. A game that involves the static decisions to cause timeline branches. The AB game and the chromatic doors. And life or death situations, which is primarily Radical 6, with a side of bombs and Dio, causing deaths, eventually either leading to our death or leading to a doomed timeline, which caused jumps. Akane to Akane, which caused jumps. Oh! Time after time. There it is. Oh, hello. Yep, there's the Phi end. And here's the earlier jump point, isn't it? Headquarters, April 13th, 2029. Let's just do it.
is April 13th, 2029, and this is the evening news. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I don't have any news to read. All of our station's reporters have passed after contracting Radical 6. So have my... Excuse me.
So have I.
I've managed to keep us on the air until now. But I'm out of tricks. It's time for me to sign off. This concludes our broadcast day. I pray that someday our world can be cleansed of this horrible plague. Goodbye.
Oh shit! For a moment I just stared at the TV. The roar of the static seemed to fill the entire room, until with a click it disappeared too. Had the power gone out? I heard footsteps behind me and turned around. You. Akane. Akane.
It looks like the first step was successful.
What the fuck? You killed me!
Killed?
I guess technically you're going to kill me 45 years from now, but still.
Hey, no need to be rude about it. I didn't kill you. I hit you with the butt of the knife. You're fine.
I'm okay?
Yes. You and Phi needed to experience a state of crisis. That was the only way.
Okay. Me and Phi?
Yes.
Where's Phi?
I only told you about you, but...
Phi's jumping
also
too?
needed Phi to jump. Now, you know what happens next, right?
We go to the moon.
Correct. We will be leaving tomorrow, April 14th, 2029. We've nearly finished preparing your shuttle. Only a few last-minute checks and additions. You'll be traveling to Rhizome 9, along with 3 treatment pods.
Alice and Clover, right?
Yes.
What about the third one? Who's in there?
Phi. We put her into cold sleep 2 days ago. She appeared at our headquarters and volunteered to be frozen.
Oh.
That wasn't the Phi who jumped from Point C, though.
Where did that Phi
It was Phi
go?
before she jumped from Point A to Point D. In other words, she was following the same path you are. And she still is.
That means that after you froze her, the Point C version of her jumped back into her body?
Yes.
Oh.
The Point C version of Phi is sleeping in that pod. She'll stay there for the next 45 years.
Damn.
Sleeping in ice.
And then when she gets to Point B, her consciousness will jump to Point A, right?
Correct.
That's our plan too, right? Huh. So that's why she didn't look old. Ah. We did. So why don't you just stick me in one of those pods?
We can't do that.
Why not? You have to become the doctor?
You haven't figured it out? You have to spend the next 45 years working on the AB project. After arriving at Rhizome 9, you must master genetic engineering and artificial intelligence programming, among other disciplines.
Good luck, Sigma.
Otherwise, you will be unable to create Kyle, Luna, and Lagomorph. And, of course, you will need to develop the chromatic doors and the bracelets. You will also be the person who summons Tenmyoji and Quark. Once you've completed all the preparations, then the project can actually begin. January 25th, 2074.
Wow.
You will defrost Phi and carry her to the 3rd AB room. Once you've done that, the 22-year-old version of you from Point A will force you out. And you'll just go back 45 years to your own body on December 25th, 2028.
And then I change history? Do you really think I can keep the virus from getting out?
You have to. If you don't, billions of people will die. Only you and Phi can save them.
What about you? Aren't you an Esper too?
I can't do anything on my own. If this is going to work, I'll need your help.
What happened to your brother? So, what do I need to do?
What do you mean?
Like, what specific actions do I need to take? When Phi and I jump to point A, what are we going to do then?
You'll both enter the Mars mission test site.
And after that? That's a big question mark. Because we don't actually know what happened there, do we?
I don't know.
What?
I'm sorry. I really don't know anything about what happens in there. We don't know how the Radical Six escaped. We don't even know why it was there in the first place.
Oh, crap. Then we're screwed.
That's why we need your help. You have the ability to jump through time and across parallel worlds. We need you to figure out what happened in that test facility. Things will be difficult, and I'm sure you will find yourself in a great deal of danger. But I believe the two of you can overcome any obstacle.
Wait. How do you know it's so dangerous?
The 67-year-old version of you told me what happened. He wasn't able to stop the virus. So I suppose you could say you told me after you failed.
What did I say?
That the test facility is full of traps.
Oh.
There was one point, a woman's life was in danger. You risked yourself for her sake, and lost your arms and your right eye.
Oh, Jesus. My arm's in my right eye? Ah! What the hell? Suddenly a low rumble shook the building. Whoa, what was that?
Go have a look.
Moved slowly to the window, peered outside. On the horizon, I could see a massive mushroom cloud climbing slowly toward the sky. Would we really be able to change the course of history? No, that was the wrong way to look at it. It couldn't be a question. I had to change history. I could save the world. I'm going to change history. I stared at the darkening skies above us and steeled myself. I would succeed. End or beginning? Oh. At this point, this is the end. Oh. There it is. This is the end. What is this now? What is this now? I think we're gonna leave that off for a separate video. Because I want to do a video just going back and getting the rest of these bad ends. Just to suffer. We're gonna see what this is. Infirmary another time. I might tack that on to the end of this, we'll see.